was tweeting at him like a bunch of times last week. All right, Boomer Live.
Pissed off at him.
Did he?
Yeah, boom.
Boomer Live, episode 94. What's going on, buddy?
Jesus is back. I'm training to walk on water right now.
Oh yeah. How's that working for you?
I'm training hard.
Taking some steps.
Yeah, my grandma's pool's opening soon. It's really gonna start.
You're gonna start.
Practice is really gonna start happening.
All you gotta do is put like a little pool noodle underneath and just try to run on that.
You ever seen Sasquatch Gang?
No.
So, oh man, I'm gonna have to show you this. All right. I'll show you that after.
Okay.
It's a movie.
Just getting past UFC 274.
Disappointing.
If you could, all right, I want you.
Rose. Why?
I want you to sum up the entire pay-per-view in 3 words.
Predictable. Saw it coming. There you go.
That's 4, but yeah, I got you. That's
Yeah.
just about where I am.
It's not a. Is it a word?
No. Yes, it is.
Like a
but
prefix.
right.
Or whatever.
We can definitely credit you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
But like, predictable is honestly a good way to put it because I went to the casino right before the pay-per-view started and I put like a couple more bets in, and for some fucking reason I was on Twitter all that morning and there was this one girl, Melissa Gatto, that everybody was saying like the best underdog on the card, like go hammer her, she's gonna help your parlays.
Is this
like,
the Tony for the someone said she looked like Tony Ferguson?
No, she got beat unanimous decision. She didn't get knocked out or anything, but I had her on like 8 team parlays that I looked at it after.
8
team parlays. I had her on 3 tickets, and they were all 8 teams.
Oh, okay.
And I went back afterwards the next day, and I looked at it, and that Melissa Gatto bet was the only one I got wrong on all of them. And they were all like 5-unit tickets, which sucks. But I had Chandler, Oliveira, Esparza, I had Randy Brown on one.
I didn't cash out at all, dude. I got one.
I cashed out,
I got
but
one ticket.
I lost like $60 in total, so I'm
yeah.
not mad about it.
I lost way more than that.
Well, the best bet I had was the fucking St. Preux Hua by end in decision.
Yeah.
Which was a fucking lock. I'm kind of pissed that I didn't put more on that. I wanted to, but I went in with like $200 and I spent my last 50 on it.
I think that, dude, honestly, like, we could start nailing these fucking methods because we're getting a little like off track from like fighting wise, but I'm starting to get more in tune with like the method results and stuff like that Chaos Williams dude. Like I knew that was gonna go to the decision because they're both scared of each other's power.
You absolutely had me on that because I did not think that was gonna go to decision. I would have bet the under.
It's like one of those things that they're both gonna be hesitant and they're gonna gas.
I know Chaos Williams is always chaotic. And Randy Brown's a really good striker, so I figured there was going to be some exchange there. It was a really good fight, too. That was one of the better fights on the card.
Yeah. But there was a couple moments when they were like, oh, shit. Like, one of those connects. Like,
so
fucking hurt him.
I want to start this new segment we do after every pay-per-view. We're dissecting it, basically, but I want you to give 3 takes, and I want them all to be for different fights. So you can pick any fight you want. Just what's your take, your biggest takeaways from that entire pay-per-view.
You know, the biggest take from it is, it's unfortunate that you can have a guy like Paula Costa make like his own division because he doesn't want to cut, and then have a guy like Charles Oliveira, who arguably, did make weight in the back room, and then after Tony jumped on the scale. If the calibration, I don't know, dude. I don't know what to believe. There was other people that missed weight. So
Oliveira getting screwed over because he should be the champ, but missed weight by half a pound.
Him getting screwed over by half a pound is kind of crazy, but a rule's a rule.
It is. You gotta respect it at the end of the day.
Rule's a rule. I would think there should be a digital scale. Bring it down to the 0.2.
Well, there was a digital scale.
In the back room. This is what I mean. And he made weight. So, man, I don't know. It's a crazy thing to think about that, because I texted you even before it was confirmed that he missed it.
Weight. He missed weight.
Yeah.
All right. Second takeaway.
Man.
Oh, These are the fights if you need a
How
here.
good is Charles Oliveira's ground game? That's what I mean by predictable.
And
that's why I said predictable.
You know what's crazy? Justin Gaethje's not a bad on the ground, but he's faced Khabib and Oliveira, and they have made him look like he can't wrestle at all.
Dude, it's it makes you think, like, is Charles Oliveira, he could beat Khabib because Khabib just can't go and maul him on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
He can't just go and like
Oliveira's
Conor
gonna catch him on,
McGregor
like,
or
triangle.
Poirier, like he can't just go and attack them. Like this guy knows what the fuck he is doing, dude. Like he fakes getting hit. Like he did get dropped, I think,
for sure.
but his instinct was to go to his back because he
Right.
knew
He knew
right away that even if he was hurt, he knows exactly what to do.
And he absolutely, and his striking game's good too, but he absolutely did get dropped one of those times. And the second time, he barely got touched and he just went to the ground.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I'm not fucking with the stand-up. I'm really not.
Yeah.
And then he goes on, he's bloodied up, it's by the end of the first round, and he drops Gaethje.
Yeah.
Like, this dude is the king of comebacks. You can never count him out.
Yeah. No, true.
Third takeaway.
Third takeaway, I think...
Any of the fights.
Man. Third takeaway, the Rose fight. I'll answer to this because maybe you'll think of something different. You have a different view on it. Man, Rose cannot go to the ground. I don't think. I think she got kind of lucky with Weili Zhang, and I'm gonna repeat that. And if they fight again, I'm gonna go Weili Zhang to win that third fight.
I was a big proponent of Weili Zhang should have won the second fight because she had a couple takedowns.
Yeah.
All right. Here's my 3 takeaways, and I'm gonna kind of roll off the tongue because I haven't really.
Yeah,
thought
that
of
is my
this.
takeaway.
I haven't really thought of this. First of all, that Rose versus Esparza fight was the worst title fight in UFC history.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that. That was a snooze fest. Good for Esparza. I thought she was more active, but can we take a look at the actual strikes landed? All right, so in the Rose Namajunas versus Carlos Esparza, total strikes, Carlos Esparza was 30 for 133, and Namajunas was 38 for 137. So there was 68 strikes landed in total in the entire fight, in a title fight, a 5-round fight.
No one predicted that. No
That
one
is
saw
14 strikes landed combined per round.
that. Yeah.
7 strikes for each girl.
And I like Carlos Esparza by decision, and I wish I bet it.
I know. And
I wish I bet her too.
So that's my first takeaway. That fight was a terrible fight.
Let
To
me
add
ask.
to that
Hang
real
on. Let me
quick-
ask you.
Okay.
Oh yeah, finish.
I was gonna say to take it real quick. I can't believe. Obviously, Carlo was trying to take her down, but Rose just would not initiate anything standing. Like
Okay.
she tried to keep her distance the entire time. You would think that Rose would try to go at Carlos Esparza striking,
Yeah.
especially with that reach advantage she had.
Yeah.
What are you gonna ask?
What's your second takeaway?
My second takeaway is that Charles Oliveira. I struggle to say is the best 155er on the planet because Khabib's out there. But, like, that's honestly becoming more of a toss-up every time I see Oliveira fight. But in the UFC, Charles Oliveira is the best lightweight by far. I really think that even if he fights Makhachev, he's going to beat Makhachev. I think that he's already beaten Poirier and Gaethje. Darush, like, I think he would beat Darush. I don't think that anyone is stopping Oliveira until we see Volkanovski maybe go up to 155. So that's my second takeaway. Oliveira is king of the lightweights right now. He should be champion. But like you said, rules are rules. And the third fight, or the third takeaway I'd say, is that...
God. Was that you? No.
This is a two-parter. So one, knockout of the year, Michael Chandler. That's knockout of the year. That's going to be at the end of the year.
Yeah, I want to talk about this fight
That's
too.
gotta
Oh, I
be-
forgot. I forgot to talk about that fight.
Right, I
dude.
was waiting for you to say that.
I
But
know.
here's what I'm going to say after that. So that was knockout of the year, and Michael Chandler followed it up with an amazing, like, all the stars fucking aligned. He did backflips in the ring, called out
tweeted about
McGregor,
this.
called a bunch of people out. Like that was great start to finish. Good job for Chandler.
Yeah, good.
Second
Calling out
part
people after that.
This fight's gonna make Michael Chandler a little overrated.
Oh, bro, I'm betting against him.
I don't think that
He was losing the fight.
he had. I think he might have won the first round
He
because
got
he
knocked
took
down,
him.
dude.
He took him down and had a good amount of ground and pound, in like 2 minutes of control in the first round. But it was a toss-up first round. Tony looked really good.
I think Tony won that first round, dude. I really do.
Tony looked really good going in. Like there wasn't even a punch thrown in the second round.
Right.
That was the first thing.
I think that he got really lucky with that front kick. I think that it was beautifully timed. He had a great front kick, but I don't think that's going to happen every day. And I think that Chandler.
Oh, that was so lucky.
Chandler is better as a wrestler than he is standing.
That was so lucky. I'm not even capping.
So yeah, I think that Michael Chandler's going to be a little bit overrated. I think it's McGregor Chandler next. I really think that's the next fight that's going to get made. And it might be at welterweight, dude. Because Conor McGregor just posted some pictures the other day. He's still looking like a fucking tank. He's got to be easy 180.
Yeah, I think. Man, McGregor should just fight Nate Diaz, man, or Tony. I really think he should fight Tony Ferguson
Conor.
because Tony has a slim chance and a
I
good
think,
chance.
I think Tony's going to be out for a while, though. I don't think we're going to see Tony. I don't think we'll see Tony in 2022.
No, but if he fought Conor McGregor, he could. Yeah, he would.
Yeah, you would definitely come back for that payday. But I think that would be jumping the gun a little bit. When you get knocked the fuck out like that, you got to give yourself some time.
Yeah, but if he was the main event with Conor McGregor, dude, man, that's... And especially after what just happened, his name's out there.
Right.
Like, it would probably be the best time.
But Chandler McGregor honestly makes sense, too. Not only from a pay-per-view selling point of view, but also from you got two guys who are right now, Conor's pushing it, but you can say one step away from a title fight.
He hasn't won in so long.
Right, but even though he hasn't, and he's on a 2-fight losing streak, and he's lost 3 of his last 4 fights, people are still saying that they think he might be in a title fight soon.
Yeah.
So if you put Chandler in McGregor in a title fight, and I want to see it at 170 because I want to see them two bulked up like they are, I think that you could potentially be the winner of that could potentially call out Usman and look for a title fight. I don't think he deserves it, either of them, at welterweight.
Hot take, whenever you're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Quick, no. Keep going.
What I was going to say is that welterweight division is, I think, much more wide open than lightweight. And I think that there are challengers like Khamzat Chimaev, even like Colby, who still deserve another title shot. It'd be hard for McGregor or Chandler to leapfrog them. But especially in lightweight, I can see McGregor or Chandler, whoever the winner of that fight is, then challenging Oliveira at lightweight. That's what I was going to say.
Okay. I respect that. I agree. I totally agree.
Right.
I think the right opponent in that division can beat Usman. Because Usman is overrated. Hot take.
Okay. What makes
All
you say
his
that?
title defenses are only against 3 people. Kobe Covington, who's a wrestler. Jorge Masvidal, who's Jorge Masvidal. Like,
Jorge's definitely overrated.
Way overrated now, but he is still good. Like,
Of course.
he could fight Conor McGregor.
I've been saying Masvidal versus Conor for a while now. I think that's a great fight.
Yeah, and I think it gives Jorge his height back. It gives Conor a good opponent to...
Good person to come back against.
Oops. And, yeah, man, I really think he might be a little overrated, and I think, like, Chimaev or somebody that is, like, strong and can get him down to the ground and has knockout power.
I definitely think that Chimaev has the best chance against Usman. Here's what I would say to that, though. I don't know if I would agree that Usman's overrated. I don't know if I'd agree he's overrated.
Overrated to be the best in that division ever, I think, because you only have...
I wouldn't put him above
It's
GSP yet, but he's fucking getting there.
Yeah, it's just like... Man, John Jones has so many title defenses against so many different people.
Mhm.
Obviously, like I'm comparing John Jones to Kamaru
Well, when you
Usman,
think
but
about
when you
it-
think about it,
But let me
like,
ask you this:
compared to Anderson Silva, maybe, or I
for
don't
who
know.
title defenses?
I guess.
John Jones has more. John Jones
No,
has
I
the
guess
most
no
title defenses.
to Usman.
Oh, Usman. If you want to talk about like legacy wise, who has a similar title defense path as Usman, I would maybe say, you know who's an interesting person to say, Volkanovski. Volkanovski has 3 different title defense challengers,
Yeah.
and he's looking to fight Holloway again. So
Yeah.
he's repeating now.
Yeah, and I think he's doing a smart move because he thinks that he can still beat him, and I
Right.
think he can.
Here's what I would say about the Usman thing. Usman's only fought 3 people, but besides Jorge, because I don't think Jorge fits this mold. And you got to remember, Khamzat just came into the division, so he's new. So over the past year and a half, 2 years, the 3 best welterweights in the world are Usman, Colby, Gilbert Burns, and it's a fucking cutoff, I would say. Like, there's no one really else there. Like, Leon Edwards is ranked there.
Are you putting Kamaev in there?
I am now, but I'm
Okay.
saying over the last year and a half, like he
Oh,
wasn't
year
in
and a
the
half.
picture.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
So like,
I know
you
what
had
mean.
Wonder Boy up there. You had Vicente
Yeah.
Luque up there,
Yeah.
who's good.
Yeah.
Bilal Muhammad's getting up there now.
Yeah,
Well, like-
underrated, man. Underrated.
Bilal
maybe
Muhammad
not, maybe
is
not
underrated.
now because of his competitions that he's going to
He
be
just does.
facing. But
What sucks about Muhammad is he's kind of boring. But you know, we've gotten past that before, and I hate that stigma on fighters that they're not a good fighter because they're boring. Like,
Yeah.
you're a skilled fighter, but you're not a sellable fighter, which is part of the UFC's business. Like, you got to be able to sell your fights if you want to fight for titles.
yeah.
That's what Dana's gonna hate about the women's strawweight division now. Like, he wouldn't even talk about Esparza versus Namajunas because he was so pissed off about that fight, which I think is interesting. But anyway, going back to what we said, so my 3 takes for 274. Oliveira is the best lightweight. Namajunas Esparza was boring as shit.
Yeah,
And-
is she the real champion?
And
or-
Chandler had a lucky but historically great knockout. Those are my 3 takes.
Yeah, I think, because I didn't really cover the Chandler Ferguson fight. I think, that fight goes to decision. That's Tony Ferguson's fight. That's all I'm saying. Tony had the distance. His jab was good. He was backing Chandler up. He already knocked him down once in the first round. And
Chandler's
Chandler
like that,
was
though.
looking
He's
a little
explosive.
gassed, dude. And, Chandler is a 2-round fighter. He's
Yeah.
a 2-round fighter, and Tony Ferguson is a 3rd-round fighter.
If you look at his fight against Gaethje, it totally sums it up. Now, granted, they were both gassed in the 3rd round, Chandler Gaethje, because that fight was so chaotic.
Oh my God, it's the best fight.
But that fight, like, Chandler was absolutely gassed for the 3rd round. So was Gaethje, but Gaethje had a little bit more intake. That's why he won. All right, so anything else you want to say about 274? Just real quick before we move on.
No, the other underdog chick, both underdog chicks won at the plus 190 line. I did bet on
Macy
the
Chiasson and Carla Esparza.
I bet on the other one, which didn't really matter. The Randy Brown fight, good fight. What's the other one? The guy submitted him.
Brandon Royval, Matt Schnell.
Yeah,
That was
Brandon
that was an interesting fight because
Matt
Matt
Schnell
Schnell
looked really good. I'm gonna bet on Matt
fucking
Schnell's
up
next fight.
Royval. Royval's really good at jiu-jitsu though. As soon as he brought him to the ground, he just got
Kind
him
of the
in a guillotine.
future of the sport, I think. So keep an eye on Brandon Royval
Well, he's already been up there.
and keep an eye on Matt Schnell.
Brandon Royval. Where is he? He's right here. He had a skid against 2 of the top 3 people in the division, and I knew that he was going to come in strong. And Matt Schnell has been he's had 6 fights in a row canceled before this fight, so I knew he'd been training his ass off. So I thought it was going to be a really good fight. I didn't expect Schnell to come in as aggressive as he did, and he was popping.
I'm gonna
Royval.
hammer him in his next fight, dude. 'Cause
Especially
he looks
if he
really good.
goes against someone close to his ranking, because he's number 9 ranked, fighting the number 5 ranked guy. So
Yeah.
he was taking a step up. Yeah, he's definitely gonna be.
Did
back.
he move up? Did he move down in the rankings, or did he stay?
I actually haven't checked the rankings yet. So we have a 2-fight card coming up this weekend. Blackwitch versus Rakic. Jan Blachowicz versus Alexander Rakic in the light heavyweight division is the main event coming up this weekend. That's going to be a really good fight. I don't know if the odds are out yet. I haven't even checked.
I haven't even checked either. I haven't even looked at it, and it's Thursday. So
let's
I'm
take
curious.
a look real quick. I'm sure they are out.
Are we doing anything?
I would say that.
Are we sprinkling? I'm not betting a lot. I can't.
I don't really want to. I think Blachowicz is going to win. Rakic is a really boring fighter too. Like, he's very patient.
I think Rakic.
Rakic just has way more experience. Blachowicz is the underdog. Plus 165.
Damn.
Ion Cutelaba versus Ryan Spann is in the co-main, and Ryan Spann is the underdog. So I might throw a little bet on Blachowicz and Spann. I'm not gonna lie to you. Plus 668 odds for those two underdogs.
Yeah. I love.
Damn. And then you have a couple other fights that I honestly.
Ian Cutelaba, why is he favored?
Right, that's what I'm saying. And then there's two other fights that I want to talk about. So Viviana Rujo versus Andrea Lee.
Davey Grant's gonna smoke him.
Davey Grant's fighting. Where? Oh yeah, he's fighting Louis Smolka. That's an interesting fight.
Angela
Smolka's
Hill,
been forever.
Dude.
Angela Hill's fighting. Yeah, Chukagan's gonna beat her. I got Caitlin Chukagan in that.
No, Angela Hill's fighting Verna.
Oh, that's Amanda Ribas.
Dude, Angela Hill might win.
Yeah, these women fights are gonna be interesting. There's 4 of them, and they're all good fights. I really wish I had looked at this card a little bit more. But anyway, I'm not gonna put too much down on this week. Blachowicz versus Rakic is gonna be a really interesting fight.
Blachowicz, Spann, Angela Hill plus 1900.
I think so. Before we get too ahead of ourselves, the light heavyweight championship is happening soon, and this fight, Blachowicz versus Rakic, I could see being a number 1 contender fight because Rakic is 3, Blachowicz is 1 contenders in the light heavyweight division. So I think that down the road, this will probably be the number 1 contender. And then the other one I wanted to talk about is the really close fight, on the odds at least. Viviana Rujo versus Andrea Lee is a flyweight bout, if I'm not mistaken. Number 10 and number 9 and number 10 ranked. Close fight. Andrea Lee has had like 2 knockouts in a row. So I might take the under in that.
Amanda Ribas, Caitlin Chukagian? Damn, is Chukagian the one that just lost?
No, Chukagan's on a roll right now.
Okay.
Chukagan's
so
won
Ribas.
2 in a row. She's won 3 of her last 4.
Interesting. Yeah, what a girl fights.
Right. This is going to be a decent card, actually, the more I look at it. Spann versus Cutelaba is interesting. Davey Grant versus Louis Smolka is interesting. Yeah, I might have to put in a slip for this, honestly, now that I'm looking at it. Jan Blachowicz to beat Rakic.
Hang on. Write this down. Is that cool?
Yeah. Ooh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Okay.
I know.
I got one.
Jan B.
Jan B. Spann. Spann with 2 N's to beat Cutelaba.
Yep, love it.
Davey Grant to beat Louis Smolka.
Davy Jones.
Davey G. And Caitlin Chukagan. That's a J. It's Davey Grant.
Oh. Yeah, I'm dyslexic when it comes to that. Choo. K-E-N. Whatever.
Yeah, perfect. That is plus 1481.
So I have Jan, Spann, Angela Hill, and I accidentally put Ribas instead of Chukagian. I have Blachowicz, Spann, Angela Hill, Chukagian at plus 3,000.
Say it one more time.
Blachowicz, Spann, Angela Hill, Chukagian.
Angela Hill is okay.
And Davey Grant plus 4,000.
Angela Hill versus Verna Jandiroba. I don't know. Verna Jandiroba is really good on the ground. She lost her last fight.
Angela Hill good on the ground too.
She lost her last fight to Amanda Ribas. Angela Hill's on her way out, kind of, dude. She's lost 4 of her last 5. She has lost to up-and-comers, though, which gives me hope. But her only win is against
One of these
Alicia
girls.
Yoder.
One of these girls.
The underdog's going to hit. Yeah. You can look into that a little bit more, honestly. I would not be opposed to betting on this card with these odds.
But what is the odds on that?
1481.
Okay.
Jan B.
Jan B. The span is dangerous.
Span is against
So let's
Cutelaba.
let's take span out. Take span out. Input.
Without span, it's plus 445. So it drops 1,000 without span. Span is plus 190.
You don't think Rivas could win against Chukagian?
I don't think so, no. I think Chukagian's really good. Michael Johnson's also fighting on this card, by the way. Michael Johnson's fighting Alan Patrick.
I cannot think of who Michael Johnson is.
Michael Johnson's the black dude that gets in a lot of wars. He fought Justin Gaethje and talked a lot of shit, and then Gaethje knocked him out.
Oh yeah, okay.
Former lightweight champion contender. Never actually won the championship.
What's he?
He's minus 150.
Okay.
I'm not betting on that fight.
No,
He hasn't
that
fought in
is
too long that I don't really want to look at.
Interesting, just because he's facing like.
So Blackwitch
Who's
versus...
Alan Patrick?
That's a good question.
You know what I mean? Like this guy's a former contender for the lightweight title. Like, I think that's a good bet.
Well, I don't know Patrick on the database. No, but Michael John, he challenged for the title like 10 years ago. 8 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
Here's an interesting bet that we could look at. Blackwitch Rakic. Now, Blackwitch can finish fights. Blackwitch, under 2.5 is plus 140. Blackwitch by TKO is plus 275. It's
Decision.
interesting. It's very interesting.
Decision.
By decision, Jan Blackwitch plus 450.
Decision, Zach.
Fight to go the distance is plus 115.
Or submission. No. Yeah, I'm gonna do Jan B by decision. B. By. Boom. Plus 450. Take to the bank.
How about this one?
Go.
Caitlin Chukagian by decision plus 110.
Fight to go the distance. Plus 115. Hang on.
Yep.
Fight distance. Jan B. Plus 115. In Rakic. Versus, how do you spell Rakic?
Rakic.
We're gonna change up the color here, folks. Gang, gang. Theo Vaughn. Alright, what's up?
I think that's all I had. I was looking at a couple other
I thought you were
methods.
just gonna say something.
I had Chukagian by decision, but it's only plus 110.
Okay, and then so you take Ryan Spann out and Jan out.
I think it's hilarious how over-unders are prop bets now. Like, they will not put them on parlays anymore.
Yeah, because they were probably losing a lot of money.
That's exactly why.
Damn, how does Jan lose this fight? He was just a champion and he got tapped out.
Yeah, but Rakic is really good, and he's a patient fighter. He's a slow fighter.
Yeah.
Anyway, are you gonna look for more bets to throw up, or can I kind of go on?
You can go on. I'm just gonna look.
All right. So we got to start getting ready for UFC 275.
Mhm.
UFC 275 is June 11th. So we have just under a month. UFC 275 is Glover Teixeira versus Yuri Prochazka. Prochazka's going to be fighting again.
Okay. Oh, yeah, we'll bet hammer him, yeah. Hammer him. I'm not even second guessing it.
Yeah, I think we should. No, you're right. Not second guessing it. Prochazka.
So
Valentina Shevchenko is in the co-main event fighting Talia Santos. That's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good fight. I'm taking Shevchenko. 100%.
By decision or knockout?
By decision. Talia Santos is a really good fighter. She's a stand-up fighter too, so I think it's gonna be like 5 rounds of slugging. Weili Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk 2 is in this card. I'm telling you right now, the winner of that fight will be the next strawweight champion, and I think it's gonna be Joanna. Now you've probably never seen Joanna fight, have you? Do you know that name?
Yeah, I do.
Jędrzejczyk? It's spelled like that. It's super fucking Polish. There's
Yeah,
like 3
I've watched
J's
her
in
fight.
there.
I watched her fight before.
She's the girl that had the bubble on her head.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was the first fight against Weili Zhang.
Yeah.
That happened. That was the last card before COVID.
Okay.
UFC 249. So Weili Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk is so there is Joanna is by far the one woman fighter that hasn't been fighting for a while that I want to see come back. Super interesting. She has a weird style. She was like the second strawweight champion ever. Because the first strawweight champion when the division was initially introduced in the UFC was Carla Esparza. And then Carla dropped the belt to Joanna. Joanna versus Weili Zhang is going to be a really good fight. Jacob Malkoun is fighting Brendan Allen in that card. That's an interesting little fight. It's an interesting little
I
fight.
kind of like Brendan Allen.
Me too.
Oh, yeah, I should sit down, but I'm just going to write this in.
And then Marvin Vettori was supposed to fight Robert Whittaker on this card. Marvin Vettori is still looking for a opponent.
Mm-hmm.
That's UFC 275 so far. Nothing else has really been announced.
Well, there's a lot of fights coming up that are.
Well, the UFC is doing something
I'm not
crazy
ready,
for International Fight Week, dude. They're having like 3 pay-per-views in like a week and a half span. It's nuts. So UFC 276 is going to be July 2nd. That's Adesanya, Cannonier, Volkanovski, Holloway, Sean Strickland, Alex Pereira.
Dude, why can't we bet on this shit?
Sean O'Malley, Pedro Munoz, Andre Muniz versus Uriah Hall. Like, there's a fuck ton of fights that are going to happen. Robbie Lawler's on this card and shit.
Dude, why can't we bet on... All these fights are scheduled. Like, why can't we bet on them?
Because the bookie doesn't want to lose money, man. We might have to find another way to put these bets in. Might have to like go to DraftKings or some shit, or like find some website that we can put them in.
Yeah.
Because we're losing money not parlaying multiple weeks together like we used to.
What would you think about we were killing it, murdering it actually.
It's so much better because we can pick 2 locks for every week. We can parlay them for 3 weeks in a row. Have a 6-team bet that's gonna fucking hit. And so what if the odds on a 6-teamer is only plus 400? Like, we know it's gonna fucking hit.
Yeah, put 300 on it.
Right. Anyway, what are you gonna say?
I forgot.
UFC 275 is gonna be a decent pay-per-view. I don't think I'm gonna look forward to it quite as much as the 274 was.
Yeah.
276 is gonna be an amazing pay-per-view. I'm saying right now. Anytime you have Adesanya, Cannonier, and Volkanovski, Holloway, that's a great fucking pay-per-view.
Yeah. I want to see Brian Ortega fight again, dude. Honestly, like, I'm curious.
Brian Ortega versus Yair Rodriguez was trying to be made, which I think is an interesting fight. I think Ortega takes it because Yair Rodriguez is a super stand-up fighter, and Ortega's just going to take it to the ground and submit him.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great fight, man. That was one of the best fights.
Ortega Volkanovski, that was a ridiculous fight. Volkanovski is a tough motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
So tough.
So this Kai Kara France and Conor Moreno.
Yep.
It's interesting, dude. Figueiredo gets hurt with a hand injury, can't fight till the end of the year. So Dana White's like, all right, well, we're gonna fight. I'm gonna make an interim title.
So the fight hasn't been officially announced yet. They're scheduling it for July 30th. And I find that really weird because all the reports I saw about Figueiredo's hand injury is that he's going to be back in late 2022. and so they're putting an interim title fight right away. It reminds me of when they put an interim title fight for Derek Lewis versus Cyril Gane in the heavyweight division when Francis Ngannou had only won the title like 5 months before. Like, they're doing it really quickly, and I don't know if it's because they're trying to add a little flavor to whoever Figueiredo fights when he does come back, whether it be Cara France or Moreno. I think why they're really doing it, and I said this to you earlier, is because both of these guys have a legitimate claim to being the next title challenger, and rather than pick one versus the other, they're just going to say, here's a number one contender fight, and we're going to put interim title on it just to sell it a little bit more. That's what I think they're really doing.
Yeah, I think it's early to do that. I think because like Brendan Moreno he did just lose basically like the trilogy or like the whatever the frick they just did. Like,
I mean, technically, it's 1-1-1. One draw, one win for each.
true.
If you want to look at it that way.
True.
If you want to look at it another way, you can say that Figueiredo's walked out with the belt twice.
Yeah.
It's another way to look at it, because he walked out with a draw.
Yeah.
You could also say that Figueiredo, it was a controversial decision for him to win the third fight, because a lot of people thought Moreno won the third fight.
Yeah.
Moreno is the only one that has finished Figueiredo.
Yeah.
Figueiredo tapped into rear naked choke to Moreno. Figueiredo's never finished Moreno.
That's true too.
It's a really good rivalry. I really do think.
Mm-hmm.
I just would hate to see. Now, this is the first time in UFC history that two fighters have fought each other 3 times in a row without any other fights in between.
Yeah.
Much less for a title, and much less for the 4 times in a row that it seemed like it was going to happen. Like, that kind of gets old. Like, you're not going to be able to really sell that 4th fight.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they're making this interim title fight.
Hey, shout out. Yeah, well, Brendan Moreno's taking a risk, you know what I mean? Because he could be arguing, like, no, I'm not
Right.
fighting.
I'm waiting for the actual championship.
Yeah, but he's going to go out and fight Cara France. So.
Who's been on a roll.
Yeah.
Cara France knocked
up.
out Cody Garbrandt.
I didn't even know who to pick in that fight.
And he had a decision win over Askar Askarov, who was like the boogeyman of that division. Like the best wrestler in the division that nobody wanted to fight. He was 12-0.
Yeah.
And Cara France beat him in decision. Like stuffed 7 takedowns and boxed the shit out of him.
I think I'm just going to bet whoever's the underdog in that fight.
Moreno versus Cara France.
Ben, whoever's the underdog.
I'm going to take Moreno. Nah, I'm going to take Moreno. Because I look at Cara France and I look at... I think he has the same style as Figueiredo. He's a good striker. He just doesn't have the jiu-jitsu background that Figueiredo has. So I think he's a little bit less. And if you're putting Moreno as 1B and Figueiredo as 1A, then I got to take Moreno. And I think he will be the favorite. By
decision, knock him out.
Decision. It depends, because if they put that, if they try to put that in a pay-per-view, I doubt it's going to be a 5-round fight. No, it's an interim title fight. You're right, it is a 5-round fight. Yeah, I'd go decision. I go decision
too. I go decision. And whether it's Moreno or Cara France, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be tough to bet against Cara France after what just happened.
All right, so I have another idea for a little segment, because I've been trying to throw some segments out there. Like last week, we did who would win in a fight, like Joe Rogan and Jake Paul, that type of shit. I got another one if you want to play a little game. I'm gonna throw you out a fighter, and you're going to tell me who you want to see him fight next. Just simple as that. Cool?
Mm-hmm.
All right. First fighter.
Who I want him to fight next.
Right. Who you want, not who you think he will fight. Who you want him to fight next.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Number one, Conor McGregor.
Just one person?
Yes.
Tony Ferguson.
Okay. Number 2, Jorge Masvidal.
No, not Michael Chandler. Jorge Masvidal, Conor McGregor.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of Conors on this.
Yeah.
For your answers. All right, number 3, Henry Cejudo. And I will...
Volkanovski.
Okay. That's a good answer. That's an interesting fight, man. Henry Cejudo is such an anomaly, because like he wants to come back at 155, but he's 5'4".
Maybe happen.
It's fucking crazy. Like Max Holloway's 5'11". and he's in the same division. Can you imagine Max Holloway versus Henry Cejudo?
Take him on the
A
ground.
7-inch reach, height advantage. Fuck the reach advantage. Like he's probably got like 10-inch reach advantage.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
All right. Staying in bantamweight, Petr Yan, because he's not going to fight for the title again. So you got Aldo, Dillashaw, Sandhagen, Cheeto Vera.
Probably Cheeto Vera.
Cheeto Vera, Petr Yan. That's an interesting fight.
Yeah, I want to see that fight, and I think because Sean O'Malley has such high standards for Petr Yan, and if Cheeto Vera beats him, what's he gonna say? And I think Dana White plays that storyline pretty good. You know what I mean?
Sean O'Malley's scheduled to fight at 276, the international fight
yeah,
week.
I hope he fights
He's
Pedro Munoz.
He's scheduled to fight Pedro
Which
Munoz.
which plays the storyline with Cheeto Vera, because Cheeto Vera almost fought Pedro Munoz instead of this fight that he just had. He actually called out Pedro Munoz because he thought he was a really good fighter.
Right.
So if Sean O'Malley can come and beat Pedro Munoz, which is a big step up in competition.
I think Munoz is a really good. He's going to become the gatekeeper of the bantamweight division. Like he's a really good fighter, but he loses to the best fighters in the division.
Yeah.
4 of his last 5 fights, he's lost to Sterling, Frankie Edgar, Jose Aldo, Dominic Cruz.
Yeah.
I can see Sean O'Malley beating him. All right. Let's see another one. Who's another fighter I can throw on this list? Oh, another fight did get announced that I saw yesterday. I think it's for International Fight Week, but it's one of the fight nights. Paul Craig versus Volcanoes Damir. Taking Paul Craig.
Yeah, ride the wave.
Absolutely. Paul Craig is going to go to the ground and submit Volcanoes Damir. 100%.
Yeah?
100%. Maybe round 1.
You're going to bet that?
Yes.
By
Paul
submission?
Craig by submission. 100%. I'm not even worried about that at all.
Okay. Respect it.
All right. There's no one really. The light heavyweight division is really fizzled out, dude. Like, that's going to be the new heavyweight division. Last year, the heavyweight division was kind of shitty. The light heavyweight division is going to be the worst division this year.
Yeah.
Let me look at this. See who I got.
Kind of stalled, dude. You know, had its good run.
Most of the top fighters have like fights that they're kind of getting ready for already. All right, I got one for you. Bryce Mitchell.
Man.
If you want to look at it, that's the top 15 list for the featherweight division.
Bryce Mitchell.
So Mitchell's right here at 10.
Ooh. Brendan Allen. I think that's a good fight.
That's Arnold Allen.
Arnold Allen.
That's the dude with the mustache from England.
Oh, well, he wins that fight.
I'm looking at
Damn, Calvin Kattar would be good. He could face.
Calvin Kattar is fighting someone in a couple weeks. I forgot that, but that fight actually has been announced. I can't remember who he's fighting though. Josh Emmett. That's gonna be a good fight too. Josh Emmett versus Kattar.
Yeah, I think.
I'm looking at Ilya Tuporia. Ilya Tuporia versus Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah.
Although I think that Tuporia Pimblett is gonna happen at some point.
Yeah, that'll happen at some point. But I got Bryce Mitchell.
Paddy Pimblett is scheduled to fight Abu Azaitar at the next UFC London card.
Yeah.
Tom Aspinall, Curtis Blades.
I'm going Tommy.
I might have to go Curtis Blades.
I'm going Tommy.
You know what? Maybe I won't, because Aspinall's good on the ground and Blades is going to want to get that fight to the ground. But Blades can strike. Aspinall's just so quick.
Aspinall's a better striker.
Aspinall's so quick.
Yeah, I think that's one of the ones where, like, Blades ain't going to knock everyone out every fucking time, bro. Obviously, he's never done that in his career, and I'm going to bank on that right now. There's a lot of hype going into Aspinall. His hand speed is so fast.
He is. Rose Namajunas.
Who does she face next? She faces...
I haven't updated this yet. Obviously, she's not still champion.
Yeah. You know, she should fight... Marianne... Is that her name? Marianne Rodriguez? Marina. That's what it is.
Marina Rodriguez. That's what people are calling for, too.
Yeah, I think she
Two
should
best
face
strikers
her.
in that division.
Yeah, and I got Rodriguez. Sorry.
Is Rose going to have another collapse?
Yeah.
Could Rose become the first ever 3-time champion in the women's divisions?
Held the belt for 1 month.
All right. I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Lay him on me.
Islam Makhachev.
Islam Makhachev.
There's only like 2. There's like 3 answers that I would take for this.
Poirier.
Poirier's 1. I think that would be an interesting fight. Although I think Makhachev beats Poirier.
Darush.
Darush is, I think, the most likely. I think that fight's gonna happen.
Dos Anjos.
Really? I was expecting you to say Oliveira.
Oh wait, did he already face? No, he didn't. No, not yet.
He's not gonna fight Oliveira yet.
No, I don't think so. Not yet.
All right. Well, then I will say Oliveira.
Okay.
Who's he fighting next? No, Matt, I'm saying to you. Who's Oliveira fighting next?
Oh, who's Oliveira fighting next? Oliveira, man, he can do what the fuck he wants, man. He really can. He really can, dude. Man, I'm looking like Makhachev. It really is.
I would say Makhachev or Volkanovski. Because I think Volkanovski wants to come up to lightweight.
Man, he loses that fight. He does train with the best jiu-jitsu.
Think Volkanovski versus Oliveira, you think Volkanovski loses?
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, dude, I don't fucking know. That is such a interesting fight. Volkanovski's good on the ground. Oliveira's better, obviously.
Yeah.
I think if they strike, if Volkanovski keeps him up, I think Volkanovski can beat up on Oliveira, though. Volkanovski looked so clean against Korean Zombie. So clean. Barely got touched.
Mm.
Now you're adding 10 pounds of muscle to that fucker. I can do a couple more here. I definitely can. Paulo Costa. Now there is a rumor floating about in the Twitter sphere that is saying Paulo Costa might fight Luke Rockhold.
Yes, and it's been signed.
I don't think it has been signed yet.
I take Paulo Costa in that fight. I think Paulo Costa is
one of the kings of Twitter. Your eyes bugging you? You alright?
Yeah, it's itching me. Can't get it to stop. I think, who? Well, if the fight has been signed, then he's gonna fight Luke Rockhold next. So like,
I don't think the fight has been signed. Let's say that the fight hasn't been signed.
I saw a picture that it has been, but
let's say the fight hasn't been signed. Now you can say someone from middleweight, or you could say someone from light heavyweight too.
Derek Brunson would be fire.
I think Brunson Costa. That's
Costa, bro. Dude, Costa's good, man.
Costa's really
Cannot
good.
Disrespect.
But he's
Costa.
not great on the ground.
Cannonier. But Cannonier's fighting.
Yeah, Cannonier's fighting for the title.
I know. Now Strickland is an interesting matchup versus Costa. Strickland could beat Costa because of his long reach and his jab and his fighting style. So I would take Strickland over Costa.
I think Go on.
And I think if Strickland... I don't know about Strickland beating Pereira, though.
You think Pereira could beat Strickland? I think that's a very low reward, high risk fight for Strickland. I'm not sure why he took this fight, to be honest with you.
I know. I think
Pereira's not ranked.
This is his ego getting in his way, and I think Pereira is going to... Damn, he's going to knock him out with a kick, man.
I think so.
Yeah.
Sean Strickland is notorious for taking his fights to decisions.
Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu is what's carrying MMA right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Adesanya, Oliveira, Pereira was the Muay Thai champion, beat Adesanya.
Adesanya is more kickboxing than Muay Thai, although he does have good clinch work. But like, I would agree with you that I think it's kind of recency bias because when you say Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, at least to me, I think of Charles Oliveira, like right away.
I just think Muay Thai. Perfect. I think Muay Thai is basically. I think it's more Muay Thai kickboxing is the future. Like,
well, Muay Thai is more like clinch.
A lot of people go to Thailand to train, dude. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think Muay Thai is one of the more underrated martial arts because everybody has to have it in their game and no one really ever talks about it.
Mm-hmm. And there's different types of Muay Thai too.
And you can tell the people that don't train Muay Thai because as soon as they get locked up against the cage, they're fucked.
A lot of knees been thrown lately. A lot more knee.
Someone who has better
clinch
Muay Thai than people realize is Conor McGregor. Conor has good Muay Thai. It's really good Muay Thai. Remember when he almost knocked out?
Kickboxing too.
Remember when he almost knocked out Cerrone with that fucking elbow or the shoulder to the head?
Oh yeah.
Like that's some bullshit. That's some creative bullshit right there.
Yeah.
McGregor's
film. That's
right.
Or a thrown fight. I don't know.
All right, so you're gonna say Sean Strickland for Paula Costa?
Yeah, I'll aim for that. Even if Strickland loses, he could still face Costa.
I think
Costa don't want to fight him.
I think the Brunson fight's interesting. If we go to light heavyweight though, Dominic Reyes.
Whitaker's going to be looking for a fight too.
I think Dominic Reyes versus Paula Costa is an interesting fight if Costa wants to go to 205.
Yeah.
I think Paulo Costa is beefy at 205, by the way.
Yeah.
I think if he doesn't have to cut weight at all and he goes in at 205, I think that's a really scary Paulo Costa.
Got Dominic Reyes.
Dominic Reyes hasn't fought in a while. He's some kind of computer engineer. Like he has another job that he doesn't even really care about fighting that much anymore, which is why he hasn't fought.
That's crazy.
I know. Well, he went from title contender, one of the closest fights John Jones has ever fucking had, if not the closest, besides Gustafsson.
Yeah.
Barely lost to losing 3 in a row, losing 3 in a row to John Jones.
Yeah.
And he got knocked out by Yuri Prochazka in one of the knockouts of the year last year.
Yeah.
All right, last one. I'm gonna find a really good fighter, and then I think that's probably it, right? We're getting close to time, yeah. Li Jing. No, I'm just kidding. Who's one last fighter that we can throw in this?
Shogun, Tai Tuivasa.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, honestly, there's just like a lot of fights that have already been like scheduled. Right. You know what I mean?
For the next 2 months, really, we have a lot of scheduled fights already.
Yeah. Brian Ortega. Who would I like to see him fight is interesting because
I think that is.
Bryce Mitchell,
Rodriguez,
dude.
Though.
Bryce Mitchell, that would be that would be such a.
Yeah, but I think Ortega would fuck up Bryce Mitchell standing.
Yeah, it's such a big jump.
Standing though.
Jakadze, I think he beats Zombie. Calvin Kattar is a good fight.
Honestly, Ortega versus Topuria. I want to see everybody fight Topuria though. Like I love Ilya Topuria.
Yeah, I think Ortega wins that.
Zabit Magomed Sharipov has made it clear that it seems more and more clear every day that he's not going to fight in the UFC again, which really sucks.
Why?
He has another job. He found another calling or something.
Damn, that's crazy.
One of the scariest featherweights on the planet, and he just stopped fighting.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it.
Wrap it.
Episode 94. Thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure you go check out our Twitter, @complete_MMA. Go follow Fansley Sports and their many social medias. Website coming soon. Still working out some of the kinks and stuff. Go follow our YouTube page, MMA Complete Podcast. And from me and Austin, thank everybody for tuning in. Thank everybody who showed up for the UFC
Check out the
274
Twitter.
Live reactions. And that's it.
Yeah,
we're out of here.
reply in the comments. Like the comments.
Yeah.
Later.
@complete_MMA.
Yeah.
Right in the bottom of your screen.
Fuck around.
We ain't fucking around. No, we're not.
Fuck around.